The arts are alive and well in San Antonio, and this is the place to be. I hear from people who live in other major Texas cities say that they are envious of what is happening here, and I'm very excited about that.
The arts have always been very important to us, to humanity in general. It is the arts and the artists who are the voice and the voices of the people. The artists document our history. The artists tell our stories.
We have a kind of plurality of talent in the arts and in every sector, in the visual arts, the performing arts, and the literary arts.
I think that the state of the arts is growing by the year, and it makes it an increasingly great place not just to visit San Antonio, but makes it terrific for the residents of San Antonio as well.
Teresa Champion has been teaching the art of flamenco for many years. I believe she's one of the first performers that ever brought flamenco to San Antonio. And it's been through her family that she's been able to nurture hundreds of students that have gone through her studio, raising the awareness of flamenco dance, teaching the difference between what is Spanish and what is coming from Mexico.
She was the first one to open up those doors for now many flamenco studios in San Antonio and many flamenco groups.
The turning point in Teresa and Curo's life was the Alamo with John Wayne. They were given the opportunity to be part of that motion picture, and once they had that, that's when people started accepting, ooh, they were in the movie The Alamo with John Wayne. Yes, let's hire them. Let's bring them in. That was their turning point. The most fond memory I have of her is that we always had a warm meal. But the funny thing was that we knew when that meal was being made or she was in the kitchen working, because she would practice in the kitchen. And once we heard the footwork going, the clapping, and as I said, oh, she's already making supper. It was almost like the dinner bell kind of thing, and that was how our family was. My father was in one room with his guitar, I was in my room singing, my brother was in the den with his guitar, and once I heard the footwork, because it was loud, she didn't hold back. She worked out her foot. It was always when she was cooking.
Naomi has always been very positive. I first met her in the 1970s when we were both involved. I think it was late 70s, early 80s. We were both involved in the Artists in Residence programs that would send writers and artists out to the schools all over the state. And she was always smiling, always supportive, always interested in hearing what other people were doing and how other people were faring in their work.
She set the standard for everyone else about how to reach out to people and show them not only the value of expressing yourself and what that can do for our community, and for the individual, but that each person's voice and story has a value.
She has worked in so many different settings, has published so many books out of schools, out of obviously publishing houses, anthologies that are used all over the country that are based on work that comes out of San Antonio.
Flaco's like a father to me. I've been blessed and fortunate to be his bajo sexto player for so many years, and traveled so many roads and countries and toured all over the world with Flaco.
When he was young, and his father, of course, was already an icon of conjunto music, one of the early pioneers and important pioneers here from San Antonio, and how he had taken out his father's accordion from the box when his father was away at work. It was the first time he had really done that. And he was playing just from listening to his father. He was playing and picking out a polquita that his father had played. His father hadn't even taught him, and that his father came in while he was playing to into the room, and he got all scared, right? And he thought his father was going to punish him for taking out his accordion and for playing it, but that his father, you know, started crying, and that praised him for what he was doing. And Flaco started crying at that time when he was telling the story, right? You know, very, very touching. Those moments like that are very, very special, you know. Just being around him. This is one of our geniuses, you know, one of our icons, you know, and we're living in these times with him.
We're very proud of Flaco because of what he's done and his accomplishments. You know, so many years of playing this music and keeping the culture alive in other countries besides just San Antonio. Before, the accordion was just a campfire instrument or a cantina, you know, type of instrument. But thanks to Flaco, he made it pretty hip and he made it cool.
Vincent is an example for our students of what they can achieve. If they work hard, if they put their heart into it, if they believe in themselves, and Vincent puts his heart into his students, and they know that.
I think Vincent is a true artist, depicting true stories from his community, from his family and friends. They are stories that we share within this community, but yet people from across the nation are able to understand. And I think that is one of the marks of a true artist.
Not only does he influence the younger artists, but he also influences the older artists. For example, I was at one of his shows, and there was Cesar Martinez and Luis Jimenez, and they both said, "Man, this guy's gonna make me work harder." And that was really good to hear, because you never really hear him say that about any young artist whatsoever.
He kept me going. He kept me wanting to go beyond that, you know, go to art school. He kept me wanting to continue to work in our city organizations and nonprofit arts organizations like the Community Cultural Arts.
If there was one word to describe Vincent, I would use the word beautiful. He is a beautiful soul, and he creates beautiful works of art.
I think H-E-B has been a big influencer of the arts in San Antonio, because H-E-B knows that a great company is made up of great people, and likewise a great city is made up of great citizens, and you cannot separate arts and culture from great cities. And I think H-E-B understands that supporting the arts and culture in this community is about supporting a great city in all its ways, shapes, and forms.
H-E-B is a big influencer in the local arts community because they practice it every day in how they run their business. Not only do they provide corporate social responsibility support to local nonprofits and the arts in general, but they also practice it every day. Even in how their stores look, they encompass the environment that store is located in to make sure that the environment is something very familiar and something that fits in well with the local marketplace that they're selling their products and services to.
H-E-B is stepping in a very powerful way to say the arts and culture are important, not just to the economy of San Antonio, but to growing young minds in San Antonio. And I feel really proud to have the job I do. I feel really proud to be a San Antonian, and I feel just very grateful to be in a city where companies like H-E-B are as generous as they are in allowing me to do my work in growing minds and in connecting young people to arts and culture and science.